Welcome to the dark side.
Greetings. I'm Lord Bruticus, and this is episode 33 of the Dark Side Chats. We're on our way to Comic-Con 2009 in San Diego, California. Let's see what kind of cool Star Wars stuff we find.
Well, the slime balls that run Comic-Con, actually they're good people, but they insisted on inspecting my lightsaber. Yes, they actually made me take the hilt apart so they could see the innards inside, and of course I obliged them. And what did we find but the crystals inside? Yes, focusing crystals inside my lightsaber. Nothing that would cause an explosion, but they just had to make sure.
My weapon has been Jedi Slime Ball certified, non-explosive, but the crystals are maybe.
Now, autographs are something that I could not get a lot of. Well, you know, there were a lot of people there, but, well, yes, lots of people, but Peter Mayhew was there with his own booth.
Hi, guys. Hello. Do your job. I'm waiting for you.
Yes, those big paws of his. Oh, yeah, there he is signing my picture there with his autograph and his lovely wife next to him. And, of course, I had to get a picture with Peter Mayhew, and so we did. I went back in costume for an extra photograph with Peter Mayhew. And who is this? Oh, Matthew Wood, the voice of General Grievous. I got his autograph as well. And here is a very cool Han Solo in carbonite, and some other things, cool statues and such from such notable vendors as Sideshow Collectibles, Gentle Giant, Kotobukiya, and other vendors as well. Be sure to visit their websites to see some of these very cool things. And here are some very awesome Darth Vader statues. I believe these are from Gentle Giant. I won't dare discuss what the price range is on these things, but look at these very cool statues inside. Yes, I'm very big on Star Wars statues. Sith statues, indeed, reminiscent of Revenge of the Sith. And there is General Grievous with those piercing evil eyes. I love General Grievous. Now, there's a lightsaber that will never find its way into my armory, that of Ahsoka Tano, hand-signed by Dave Filoni. And here's another statue I thought that was very cool looking. Yes, Ula. And, well, the backside of some Star Wars females, which leads us to our question to answer. Oh, the lovely Darth Talon. The question to answer for this episode is Star Wars or Lucasfilm sexist because of female characters like these? Interesting question. Be sure to put your answer to this question to answer in the comments section of this episode. And here's an interesting statue that I thought was, well, very interesting. A clone trooper being impaled by Yoda from Revenge of the Sith. Very cool indeed, a dying moment. And there's a very cool Count Dooku as well. And here's Ahsoka Tano and a whole bunch of statues, life-size statues, of course, from the Clone Wars. Anakin Skywalker. The Gentle Giant archway, I thought was pretty cool. Look at the size of that Boba Fett over there. And now my first love, of course, with Transformers was Generation 1 Transformers. Not quite a big fan of the new stuff, but it was very cool to see Bumblebee with the Chevy Camaro incarnation of himself. Very interesting indeed. It's a very cool Camaro, very cool stuff. Now, here is a very cool display of reminiscent of Return of the Jedi, and some very cool costumers, Jedi slime balls, and a cool stormtrooper, but very good looking indeed. Now here's a stormtrooper that, well, shiny armor indeed. He's revealing the price of his armor, full regalia and all. Oh my gosh, there's something I will never be purchasing anytime soon. Egad. And, ooh, Tiberius Cologne. Boldly go. Hopefully nobody will be boldly going when you wear it. I'm sure it smells lovely. The local news. Channel 6 in San Diego was featuring all of us in line when we were waiting to get inside Friday morning, Star Wars Day at Comic-Con. And as they pan out there, all those 501st members in costume, and well, who's that all the way on the far left there? Let's see, it looks like me. You can't really see my face. I got my hood up. I look more intimidating that way, I think. There. And speaking of interviews, the good people from The People vs. George Lucas came out to interview yours truly at Comic-Con for their upcoming project. The director of The People vs. George Lucas was featured in episode 11 of the Dark Side Chats. Also, speaking of interviews, my guest for this show is no stranger to Star Wars conventions all over the United States. My guest is Jamin, and he runs leiasmetalbikini.com. So without further ado, here is my interview with Jamin, the slave master of leiasmetalbikini.com.
Well, with me here is the webmaster, or should I say, slave master of leiasmetalbikini.com, one of my favorite websites. I wonder why. Jamin. It's Jamin, right?
Yes.
Great. We've been friends on MySpace for some time, and now here we are in the flesh. No pun intended. Now, since its inception in 2002, leiasmetalbikini.com seems to be the premier slave Leia tribute site. And I was wondering how you amassed such a following, in that you have over 100 slave Leia ladies in costume, and you also have a section on your website dedicated to slave Leia fan art, and you've also amassed a lot of attention in the media. So I'm kind of wondering, how did you manage to do all of that?
To answer your question, I have no idea. It just caught on. It struck a chord. I remember seeing a young lady dressed as slave Leia at a con in like 2000. And I saw another one in like 2002. I'm like, maybe there's more out there. And I remember that scene, you know, and so I didn't realize all these other people had a thing for that scene as well. Guys, girls, they loved the character, and it just caught on. It was probably about 2 months after I started the site. I started getting photos of costumers from around the world sending me in to be included on the page.
Fabulous. Well, one of the types of interviews that I really enjoy doing on the Dark Side Chats probably the most are interviews with fellow costumers such as yourself. And I was wondering, I think I've seen you costumed as Cobra Commander.
Yes.
And I was wondering, do you costume as anything else aside from Luke Skywalker?
I love to costume as, you know, the Terminator. You know, even now, believe me later. And I like to do Cronin from Hellboy. And those are my top favorites. And also V. I love the V miniseries from the 80s. I think I'm really into the 80s. I think this basically explains everything.
That's my favorite decade. I think it all started for me with Generation 1 Transformers and everything, and G.I. Joe, and of course Star Wars especially.
Exactly.
Well, do you have any future plans for yourself and your website by any chance?
Well, it's funny you ask, because we just did a group photo at the Lucasfilm booth. I had one of the executives come over to me, and he's like, I didn't know this was around. This is, I think we can make something out of this. I didn't know there was such a fandom for this costume. So I think we might be turning the next page in the metal bikini history.
That'd be great. Well, I can't look forward to see that. I can't wait to see that at all. As a matter of fact, leiasmetalbikini.com associated with Lucasfilm, that would be something incredible.
Can you imagine a video game?
That would be great.
You have to find parts of your outfit like spread out throughout the galaxy.
I'd buy that for $1, or whatever the price would be. Well, one of the things I always ask my guests on the show is, if you could tell or ask George Lucas one thing, what would that be?
Thank you.
I think that took the words right out of my mouth as well. Well, Jamin, thank you for taking the time and being a guest on the Dark Side Chats. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Until next time, may the dark side be with you always.
Give yourself to the dark side.
Come on, let's get out of here.